Let's talk spatial calibration. When enabled in Unity, this opens the room capture tool at PICO at the system level. This allows the user to calibrate the walls, the doors, the windows, everything you like to have spatial data. And then once you're back in Unity, you can use the SDK to grab this information so the real world can interact with the virtual world, giving you mixed reality. Windows can become portals of invasion, or your childhood dreams of turning your whole living room into a Rube Goldberg machine finally comes true. Awesome. Part 4 will cover loading spatial calibration data, setting anchor points, labeling the anchor point, and handling spatial drift. Part 5 will cover instantiating prefabs at anchor points according to the labels, using anchor volume and boundary information to enable real space to virtual object interactions, a fix for ceilings and floors so you can make a four-sided wall boundary that can help you, and occlusion. Part 6 will cover Podra, a Rube Goldberg mini game I made for you guys. Let's get started. All right, we're in Unity. Let's start with a brand new scene. Start with my XR origin, XR event system, tracking origin mode to floor, enable stage mode, anchor, see-through. Make sure it's on URP performance. Solid color background black. Input action, controllers. If you don't have your profile, make sure you download Unity's XR sample and you get the profiles for your controllers. Set the model prefabs for our controllers using the PICO prefabs. Let's set a line renderer material for lasers. Set some colors. I'm going really quick here. You guys can just slow it down or catch up later. That's just basic setups. All right. A game object to hold our scripts. Let's call this spatial calibration. Create the script, spatial calibration. Previously, we did the see-through in another script. Let's just add the see-through here. Make it nice and simple. Once you enable here, just make sure you enable see-through every single time your application pauses. So when it's not paused, enable see-through again. First word is up. Load space data. All right. So for this application, we make it simple. We want to just load it when we start. You can load it when you press a button or whenever you feel necessary. For this particular project, I just want to load it on start. So what type of flags can we load? These are the things that are, the flags will determine what you're actually loading from the spatial data. Just to make it easy, let's load everything. So these are the ones that it's going to be looking for. That doesn't mean it will actually find everything. It depends on what you actually made in the beginning for the room capture tool, the furniture you added. So let's use LoadAnchorEntityBySceneFilter, the flags. Task ID just tells you if you actually completes it or not. It's actually trigger a event, AnchorEntityLoaded event. This is the interface for this. Since it's an event, we have to subscribe to the event. Anything we subscribe, we have the desubscribe. Okay. So if the results is a success and the count is more than 0, not 0, right? So then we loaded some furniture data. Great. So you just be careful with the anchor entity loaded, just because other situations you can also call this script. So just be careful later on when you have multiple scripts calling different events. Just make sure you're loading the correct. For now, we only have one script loading this event, so it should be fine. A bunch of prefabs that we're gonna be using. We haven't created these yet, but we'll get to that in a little bit. First up, so now that we have we're bringing all our furniture data here, we have a bunch of positions. Let's go ahead and put an anchor object at those positions. Just creating a little prefab here. And the anchor get anchor pose. This is pretty similar to what we did before in the anchor manager. Creating an anchor object, setting it. And I'll go over the anchor prefab here. It's just an object scale 101 here. I'd set scale 2 for the center, 0.02. You can slow this down. Z, basically the Z is important just because it's the forward direction. We'll be using this a lot. Also, at the same time, we actually want to label it. So let's create an anchor, label at the same time. Let's create a canvas, put it in a world space. Add a little image, just to be our background so the text will show up a little bit better. Looks about right. Move it up, move it forward a little bit. I don't need it that big. Text Mesh Pro, it's facing the wrong way. Let's rotate the canvas. Change the font size. Set everything in alignments in the middle. Right now it's kind of large, so just put the stretch to the big as our image canvas. Font size 8. So depending on where we put the anchor, it could be facing different directions. So let's create a script that makes the label always face the player. Transform. On our label, we're gonna grab the main camera. We should only have one main camera. That's gonna be the one on the user be using. We're just gonna have this game object, this whatever this game object is attached to, just look at the player. And we want to do the reverse it so the canvas kind of looks at the player. Because we're going to reverse it, we actually don't need that rotation in our canvas anymore. I just rotate it just so I can read it easier. And label the canvas a little bit larger. Unrotate the canvas since we're going to be doing it inside the script. Great. So you can actually see here, the label is actually moving and it's always facing the player. Okay. Add a little anchor script here. So this is just a way for me to create an anchor, then actually label it so I know what is actually, so we all know what's going on at the actual location. Is it a sofa? Is it a desk? Is it a couch? All right. Now that we loaded our anchor, we loaded our spatial data, put an anchor there, and now we can now use GetAnchorSceneLabel. And there you go. This will tell us what the actual anchor should be. Is it because we don't really know which one did we actually load. We know we loaded an anchor, we can go through them, we actually don't know which one is which yet, and the label will actually tell us which one of the spatial data, which one of the furnitures that we just loaded. So right now there's a little bit of differences in the furniture names versus the names inside the SDK. It's not too difficult, just couch, sofa, desk to table. Doors and windows option in furniture, they're actually all just enabled doors. Floors and ceilings are correct. And walls are the same. The objects are unknowns. Yeah, objects and unknowns are all unknowns. Clear that up a little bit. And remember that anchor script that we just made. Let's go ahead and grab it. Each anchor object should have an anchor. And if for some reason it doesn't have it, we can just add it. Okay. Well, if we do get this and the label is success, that means one of the furniture ones and it actually has a label. Let's update our anchor with the actual label name. So it'll let us know what it is. It's an example of what the theme label will actually look like. Theme label.wall. Okay. That looks about right. So later on, we're actually going to be using a switch statement. Depending on what the label, we're going to instantiate different things. The window will be different colors, maybe a different object. And while we're here, let's go ahead and handle spatial drift. I'll do very quickly here. I did it a little bit slower, better explanation in the previous video. You can check that out. As we're making anchors, we want to add to our dictionary. Then to handle the spatial drift, we're just going to go through our dictionary and just reset the poses that we have. And right now I don't want to do the spatial drifting check every frame. That's a little bit too much. I think every half second, 1 second should be just fine. If there's no anchors, we don't need to do anything. Now, left the drift delays, pass our max drift delay, reset it, then go through and handle everything. And it'd be very similar to you saw before, get anchor pose, do some little edge case checking with the min values. And get anchor pose, use the handle, get the rotation, get the position, reset it. Okay, that should be it. All right, double check everything. Make sure camera offset needs to be 0 here, and XR origin needs to be 0 as well. And position and rotation, 0 everything out. That looks good. Okay. Make sure you add your open scene here. Space calibration. Build, run. This opens up the spatial calibration. Go to the set up the walls. I'm not going to go through the whole wall area. I'm just going to set up my living room area. Furniture, desk, couches here. Set our couch. I'm just quickly going through here and now just add a bunch of windows. The whole point here is I just want to have enough position the furniture data here just so we can actually see the labeling being done. And pay attention to where the anchors will be placed when we load this data. So the anchors will actually carry these volume information of where those squares that we kind of made. It will actually carry that information, and we're going to use that to actually put some Unity objects in those exact same positions and shape. That's about right here. That's cool. All right. See you in the next video.